NCBM 0324, Section 1.1, Order of Operations, Part 1. Order of operations are going to be used throughout your math classes, especially when it comes to your Math 1324 class. And these operations must be done in order, thus the name Order of Operations. And it's important that we keep these order so that all of our calculations are done in the same way. The first thing when we look for these operations is, does my expression have any parentheses? Any parentheses within the problem? I'm going to address the operations inside those parentheses first. I'll apply them first. Then I'll look for any exponents, apply any powers that I might see in my expression, my calculation. Then we'll go with multiplication and division, done from left to right. We're going to keep that order there. And then we'll look for any addition or subtraction, again done from left to right. So it may seem like a lot to remember, but we have a nice acronym that we often hear about and use to try to keep track of what to do first, and that's the word PEMDAS. And there's different ways to remember it. When I was in school, I learned it as, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, but I've heard other expressions, other ways of remembering this phrase. So let's try it. Example 1, evaluate each expression. So when we evaluate something, we want to look for the value of whatever they're giving us. So we're looking for a number. A number will be our answer. In part A, we have parentheses 8 plus 10 minus 4 times 3. So following our order of operations, we're going to first again look for parentheses. And I do see some parentheses, so I'm going to address those first. So I'm going to write over here, 8 plus 10 gives me an 18. And once I've finished with my operation inside the parentheses, once I've cleared it all up to a single value, I can get rid of that notation of parentheses. Then we'll have minus 4 times 3. Look for our next order. Do we have any exponents here? I don't see any powers on my value, so I don't have any exponents to look at. But I do see a multiplication happening over here with the 4 times the 3. So I'll go ahead and do that next. Keep the 18 going. The subtraction there, 4 times 3 is 12. So multiplication, division, no division, so we're good to go. Now let's check for any addition or subtraction, and we do have a subtraction. So I'm going to subtract now the 18 minus the 12, which leaves me with 6. And there's my answer. So following those order operations, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. That's what we're going to do every time. Let's try another one. Part B. We have 10 divided by 5 times 6 minus 7 plus 10. So again, starting at parentheses, do we have any parentheses? I don't see any, so that's good to go. We're done with parentheses. Any exponents, any powers to deal with? Nope, we're good to go. But I do see quite a few multiplications and division, right? There's a 1 multiplication here, and there's a division here. Order of operations, remember we move from left to right. So when I go with my first step, I'm going to look at the division of 10 divided by 5. That's on the left side, so I'm going to start with that. And 10 divided by 5 is 2. That's going to still be multiplied by the 6, because that comes next in our expression, minus 7 plus 10. So I'm still on this multiplication division. I need to simplify now the multiplication part. We're again going from left to right. 2 times 6 is 12. The minus 7 plus 10 is tagging along. And it looks like we're done with multiplication and division. And we'll go to addition and subtraction now. And I do see both addition and a subtraction. And I'm still going to follow it from left to right. So we'll do the subtraction first. 12 minus 7, well, that's 5. Plus 10, it's getting dragged along. until the last step where we can actually apply it now. 5 plus 10 gives me 15. Let's do one more. Let's jump to example D. This one looks like a challenge. In example D, we have 16 times 4 minus 2 to the third power plus parentheses 15 divided by 5. So same order of operations. In fact, if we want to write it down, PEMDAS, just to remind ourselves. Right, parentheses comes first. So looking here, I do have parentheses. I'm going to apply that first. Just keep everything else the same for now. Once we get a little more comfortable with these order operations, we can maybe start to do a few of them at the same time, but let's take it step by step right now. So again, parentheses, here we have 15 divided by 5. Well, that's 3. So I rated my expressions looking a little bit cleaner. We got rid of the parentheses. Then next one we have is exponents. So any powers. Oh, and I do see a power here. I have 2 raised to the third power. So that means everything else will kind of copy it down. 2 to the third, that's like saying 2 times 2 times 2, which gives me 8. So now I have a minus 8 plus that 3. Any more powers, any more exponents? Nope, we're good to go. Then we'll look at our multiplication divisions. I do have a multiplication here. So 16 times 4. I'm going to do that. That gives me 64. Drag along the minus 8 from our exponent and the 3 from our parentheses. And then no more multiplication division, addition, subtraction. We go from left to right. So again, subtraction in this case comes first. 64 minus 8, well, that's 56. Plus the 3, and we get our final answer of 59. So order of operations, so very important, and you're going to see all kinds of combinations of these operations, and every situation, slightly different depending on where your symbols lie, if there's any parentheses, any exponents. We'll try some more complicated ones in the next video.